Wow, I'm really excited today. And I just want to welcome you guys to Waves of Wellness number 6. Can you believe it? It's been 6 recordings already. It's so awesome. And today we have a special guest, Ellen, and I'll get to her in just a minute. But I first want to welcome you. I don't know who is here for the very first time. You want to just like signal, raise your hand. Oh, good. Cynthia. Okay. So, and Joe, or is that Olivia? Yeah.
Olivia.
Awesome. So thank you guys for showing up and for coming. It is just fabulous to have you here. So some of you know me. My name's Tracy, and I'm a health coach and personal trainer. And my mission has always been to help people age stronger and healthier instead of sicker and weaker. Okay, you do have a choice. And I am here with Dr. Gloria to help you guys make healthy choices. And, you know, Cynthia has been saying for a while that 2023 is the year for me, right? Well, it's also the year for you. So how can you make this year? We have just like 1 quarter left. How can you make it even better? And those of you who have joined QHS, you joined because you want to live. You want to live your very best life, and you're not giving up like so many other people that are just settling, right? They settle for the remote sitting on the couch. And many people get sick because we make bad decisions. Now, that's not always, but it's often, right? And so our goal with these calls is to give you a second chance. And we're going to hold you accountable that the QT wave is the foundation, right? And we will also provide support for that foundation. And it's just like a tool in your tool belt, right? If you only had a hammer, this is Ellen's suggestion, but if you only had a hammer, you're not going to be able to build a whole house, right? So this is the hammer. This is helping you in so many ways, but all of the coaching that you receive from the WoW calls, the Vibe Tribe, from Key, from the international call, all of that coaching are other tools in your tool belt. Okay. So I want to ask you guys if you're living your best life and if you're making all these good choices that support your decision to live. And my secret is to crowd out the crap, right? So crowd out the choices that are not serving you by making better choices. Okay. So, because if you just take something out, you leave this hole, you leave this gap, and the universe is going to want to jump in and fill that gap for you. So you are going to be intentional and fill it with something that's going to support you with your goals. Because every choice you make or every choice you don't make is going to come with a vibration. And you know, because we've been hearing this for a long time, is that everything is a vibration. And I just want to kind of set up that picture for you. So when I used to ask my clients, what is your body made of? Well, our body's made of cells, which are made of molecules, which are made of atoms. And if you look at an atom in a microscope, you're going to see 99% of that atom is like empty space. So if we are nothing but a compounded cluster of atoms and atoms are empty space, does that mean that we're just empty space? Like you should be able to put your hand through it, right? Well, it's not. It is energy. And every energy, like all atoms have a vibration. They have this certain frequency. And when atoms are together, they come into resonance, right? So if you take a group of atoms and they're all vibrating at the same resonance, and then say you just kind of flick one, and then that one starts going faster, the other atoms will start vibrating faster. So we know that a high vibration is attractive, right? And I used to teach a meditation regularly. Kelly knows about it. But I would always say, inhale love, joy, peace, health, happiness, prosperity. And those are all things that you want to believe in yourself. Like, are you living that life, the glass half full life? Or are you exhale? This is my exhale. This is the low vibe in like feelings that you want to release, is the stress, doubt, worry, fear, anger, and frustration. Okay. That is like beliefs that life sucks, woe is me, I'm destined to failure, I'm going to age just like my parents and sit on the couch. It's horrible, you guys. That's why I became a health coach, is watching my parents age in sickness. And I was like determined to not go down that pathway. So every choice that you make will either increase or decrease your vibration. It will either add or reduce your energy flow. Okay. And remember, it's like that we coined it the Jing jar. It's like your energy savings account, right? And many members talk about their sickness. Oh, well, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. So do you think that that is increasing your vibration, or is it decreasing your vibration? You want to focus on your wellness, what you want to create in your life, not the past, not dwelling on that sickness. And most of the things that you complain about and worry about are just like your story. But in episode 1 of WoW, we talked about your story. You're creating your story right now. And so if you're going to make up a story, wouldn't it be better if it was one that like served your dreams as a creator? Okay. So tune into the story that you prefer, just like you tune into that radio frequency. So when we're at the gym, it's pretty funny. When there's like bad music on, like slow, quiet music, we're like, rock it. You know, we tell the trainer to crank up the rock tune so that we can work hard and enjoy. Okay. So we want to tune into the frequency that we want to attract into our life. And Ellen is going to cover a bunch of that today because she is our special guest. She's going to talk about muscle testing and how to read your own body. She's going to talk about chakras and meridians. And my favorite conversation about meridians is like their little information pathways in your body, like little highways. And if those meridians get a traffic jam, they create a blockage or a distortion in that highway. And then your cells aren't able to communicate effectively, and your body will create dis-ease. I'm also here with my friend, Dr. Gloria, and she's here to support the conversation with Ellen as well. And she has 21 years of clinical practice as a founder and director of and doing research. She's also a naturopath and a homeopath. Okay, so you guys are in really good hands. But first, I want to ask you, who did their homework last week? And also, who would like to share briefly how any of their homework has helped them? Like, did you learn something? Did it help you grow? Because we've so far given you 5 different homework assignments. And I just kind of want to get feedback if that's something that's helping you guys or not. So is there anyone that wants to share? Don't be shy. Come on.
Do they need to raise their hand?
Well, yeah, because they need to be, you guys need to raise your hand if you want to share.
Yeah.
Okay, Trudy. Trudy, can you turn on your video? Pretty please. I want to see your cute little face. I know you Thank you.
I was eating. I didn't want anybody to see me eating. And I'm eating something good. I'm eating an avocado with lettuce and a little bit of grape tomatoes and cucumbers with lime juice on it and little spices. So anyway, back to the homework. Yes, I did multiple things to exercise. My body was completely sore. And but I wasn't in pain. I just was sore and stiff a little bit, you know. But I saw a really big difference in that. I totally I did the candida thing, and so that whole thing with the caprylic acid is working amazing. And I've changed to monk fruit with erythritol for my coffee. I actually like the monk fruit better than the swerve because I was using swerve before. So I hate stevia. I can't stand stevia. So, and stevia gets put in stuff and it's too sweet. It's terrible. I don't like some of that stuff. But anyway, so what else was I supposed to tell you? I've changed everything. I bought myself an air fryer and a convection oven, and I've put myself into a whole way of eating. I'm eating more protein, and I've got like major energy, and I'm getting so much done. So my exercise has been outside pulling trees and trimming and, raking and hoeing and, so I've been doing a lot of manual labor. So
That's awesome.
anyway,
Trudy.
I think all this stuff is really amazing.
And
That's
I can't
amazing.
imagine you having more energy, right?
I know. Listen to her. But I'd like to ask something of Trudy. Trudy, have you had any lower GI issues since you started using the monk fruit? Okay, because one word of warning is if monk fruit has erythritol, which is an alcohol sugar, you can get some GI issues, and then you think you're getting, irritable bowel or something else going on, and it's not. I can't tolerate it. I buy monk fruit for cooking. Okay, but only pure monk fruit, or lohan they call it sometimes. I can't have it with the erythritol, unfortunately, but it will cause GI. If you look up the side effects, you can get, loose stools, you can get cramps, you can get a lot of bloating. So if that should happen, you're not tolerating it. Nothing wrong with it. It's only if your body tolerates it.
Well, I think there is. I think the only reason I haven't is because the swerve that I was using had the erythritol in it.
So your body's become
and
okay
I was
with
using
it.
that before. Yeah. And plus the fact I don't use that much. I use it just in my coffee, so I'm not getting it all day long or anything.
You're not.
I haven't done any
tooth like me.
baking.
Awesome.
I use a lot.
No, actually, the reason I did have a sweet tooth, I did have a sweet tooth, but the whole thing is taking that caprylic acid. I mean, it totally took it away.
It does.
I don't have any cravings.
Well, good.
Yeah, I was like so
Tracy. That's amazing.
So
That's amazing.
That's amazing. We should tell people just if they have cravings to try that. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Trudy. Okay, Linda.
Where's Linda?
You're muted, Linda.
Oh, yeah.
You're still muted. We can't hear you. So whatever you said, we didn't hear.
Still muted.
Try it again. There you go.
Okay. I started to say I don't have the amount of energy that Trudy does, but I've got quite a bit more than what I did. This week I tried a different exercise every day, and I found out I love some of them and I hate others. And that was a really great idea because I tried to do too many, I think, in one day, and then it was just too much. And I started with the rebounder. I love that. I used to have a little trampoline that I jumped on until I needed a surgery of some kind, but I hadn't had a trampoline since then. But I like the ankle exercises and leg exercises. I'm up to 6 minutes at a time. Well,
wow.
I do 3 and 3. Let's put it that way. 3 minutes, and then I go do something else, and then I come back later and do the other 3. And then I found out which ones I don't like, and the worst one for me right now is the roller, the foam roller. I've got one of those, and that's kind of hard because I don't have any upper body strength really. So I've been working on that with the exercises and the mobility. I love that video. I watch it while I do those. I did get some monk fruit. They have some over at our health food store without anything else in it. So I got a powder to put in, certain things with dry ingredients, and then the drops too. And I love that for the drinks.
Yeah, awesome. I do too.
And I when I was doing the golden with the spices, the golden drink with the spices,
golden milk.
Yeah, I wasn't real crazy about that, so I came up with this one of my own with some organic pumpkin pulp and put some pumpkin pie spice in it, and that was really good. I added a lot of the other things too, but that gave it a pumpkin taste, and I love that. So.
But see, you did the right thing. Yeah, she did the right thing because you made it your taste. I love the pumpkin, like a pumpkin latte, right? Yeah. But some people don't like it. So and you know what? I do it for a few times and I get tired of it. So changing it and
Probably.
finding your own way of satisfying that taste bud of yours is, you're doing it the right way. It's what you should be doing.
Yeah, like maybe change it next season to peppermint or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know how that's going to taste with turmeric, but you can try it.
Oh, I didn't use turmeric. I did the first time, but I didn't put any turmeric in it, I think, with the pumpkin. I forgot to do that.
That's the key.
No,
Turmeric is the
key.
absolute key.
That's good for you, I know. And I got
It makes it a golden milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it will
what makes
turn
it,
your blender golden. Okay, really quick.
Linda,
last one. Let's do.
Okay,
I'm done.
Okay, let's do Cheryl. Go ahead.
Just real quick, this isn't really homework, but I tried Dr. Gloria's wonderful cauliflower breadsticks.
That's homework.
That was homework.
Delicious, but it must have been my cauliflower head was so huge it made about twice as much as I think the recipe was actually calling for. But thank you so much. It's a lovely recipe.
Great,
That's
thank you.
awesome.
I'm glad you liked it. And remember, you can make it like a pizza. If you had that much of it, you could have pushed it down into a pizza pan and made a pizza.
Yeah, I think that's my mistake. I put it in an edged pan and it was, thicker than it should be. So
yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that,
thank
Cheryl.
you.
That's great.
So, Dr. Gloria, let them know quickly what you're going to give them the recipe for at the end of the show.
Yeah, so that way you have to stay till the end.
Yes.
I have for over 30 years given a recipe that I update every year depending on what viruses and flu and all that come around every fall and winter. And so I updated the 2023 immune boosting soup recipe. And it's very different. It's absolutely delicious. To me, I was telling Tracy, it tastes like that Asian soup where they put eggs in it. This doesn't have raw eggs in it, but you know which one I mean? The egg flour soup?
Egg drop.
Egg drop. Thank you. Yes. And that's kind of what it tastes like. But again, remember that a recipe is a guide. It is not carved in stone. Make it the same way that the recipe is exactly the first time. Then you think, oh, it's too watery, or I don't like that flavor. And then change it. But everything that's in there, I have explained. I mean, I feel bad for the team writing the newsletter because it was so long they had to put a link. But it's literally how I educate you. They had to put a link because it was too much. Why? Because I don't just give you the recipe. I identify every single ingredient and what the health benefits are. So if you say, why is she putting that in? It tells you exactly why. So it's health through education again, which is my motto. So I'll give you the ingredients, but it's an immune boosting soup. Make a bunch of it. Don't have to be doing it every other day or every week. Make a bunch of it, freeze it. It'll freeze for about 3 months. And you get home tired, you're stressed, that idiot cut you off in the freeway and your adrenaline is going crazy and you don't feel like cooking. Take it out and defrost it. But it's delicious. And it can be served over rice, over quinoa, over pasta if you want. You can thicken it by the way you cook it, but it's delicious. I'll give you a quick rundown of the recipe ingredients at the end. Okay? Immune boosting soup.
Awesome.
A new one every year. Same ingredients, but I add or subtract something. Yeah, depending on what we have to fight.
Yeah, I can't wait to make that this weekend for sure. Awesome. I love having a culinary doctor. How cool is that? And then next week, she'll be back talking about dental health, oral health, which is super important. So, but today we have Ellen, and I know everyone loves Ellen. We already know, I mean, everybody knows Ellen, but I do think that there are lots of things that you don't know about her. Mm-hmm. So she is a CEO. She's the Chief Energy Optimizer since 2010, and she uses a variety of healing modalities to help people clear energetic issues, such as allergies, trauma, and drama. We can get rid of some of that in our lives, right? And it's about this life and in past lives. So I'm going to interview Ellen today so you guys can kind of dig a little deeper. But hey, Ellen, thanks so much for coming and joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me as a guest.
Well, I know that you have an exciting, interesting background. So can you just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, my main background is in management and training. And then I've also incorporated energy healing. So since 2010, I've been an energy healer. I am a certified law of attraction life coach. So I say trainer, healer, entertainer. I'm also an improv comedian. So I like to keep things light. If you haven't noticed on any of the Q&A calls or volunteer calls, I try to interject humor because I feel laughter is one of the best medicines. It helps. It's free sometimes, I guess, depending on how you use it. And it burns calories. So it fits into the wow.
Awesome. We like to burn calories.
And it boosts your immune system. It boosts your immune system. Laughter is good.
It's just fun.
Remember, there was a book written. Yeah.
So let me ask you how you went from, I heard the other day, a little birdie told me that you have a master's in HR.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any other masters? I mean, I know you're very well educated.
I have a graduate certificate in dispute resolution, which is half a master's degree in dispute resolution. But since I already had a master's, I'm like, I don't need another one. So I just took the classes that I wanted to take. Awesome. So I do love learning. I love learning about different, healing modalities, lots of different things. I'm more of a breadth of info versus depth. I don't focus too much deeply into some subjects.
That's awesome.
Are you still using your comedy?
I haven't performed for a while because the distance. Because I've moved, so I'm 45 minutes away from the troop, so it was just inconvenient.
Oh, okay.
For now.
So you entertain us instead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's entertaining us. That's okay. She's still entertaining.
We'll take it. So Ellen, how did you go from your collegiate education, getting your master's, to going into energy work? It's kind of two different things here, right?
Well, I've actually studied metaphysical subjects since the 90s. So it's always been a side interest, different, psychic abilities, cool things. So I've loved learning about all of that. And in 2010, when I was working at a top 10 business school, my boss wanted to change some of my functions, and I didn't really feel like I wanted to do those functions. So I instead shifted to what I wanted to do and the different things. Instead of finding a job to fit me, I made a job to fit me.
Oh, you made it yourself. You created it.
I made it myself. I created it. That's why I'm CEO. I like to do play on words. Yep.
That was cool. Yeah, I kind of did that here. I was hired for one thing and it's just kind of expanded into so many other things. So that's good. And I do like how Cynthia says that. What do you want to do? How do you want to help? So
well,
that's awesome.
Since I was one of the founding members, I've done things, that I'm not technically, that I didn't think I was going to do. I never thought I'd be going into shipping stuff and things like that. But I am shifting slowly out of that.
Awesome. And so let's talk about energy. So in 2010 is when you started this journey. What did you find that was the most helpful for you yourself personally?
Well, I personally am an empowering person. I want to empower the client, the person, to figure things out on their own because I don't want to do it all for them. I'm not a hand holder. I'm more of a kick butt person. Be responsible for yourself. And so I want to teach you guys the tools to figure things out for yourself. Just because somebody says, "Oh, this is so great." Say, "Oh, yes, you should always eat organic strawberries." But if you're allergic to strawberries, I don't care how organic it is, you're going to get hurt. Okay. Not good. So it's that way, if you have the tools to figure it out for yourself, whether it is good for you or not, then that's just the best way to do it, I think.
Okay. So when your clients would come to you, is it because they were sick or stressed or having physical, emotional, or all of the above?
Yes. At first, it was mainly, I was more focused in the allergy clearings. energetically clearing outer allergies such as, food sensitivities. So allergies and sensitivities, to me, I kind of think of it as like a spectrum, depending on how allergic you are. So an allergic reaction will trigger right away and can be deadly. And its sensitivity, you might not notice it so much, but you can be sensitive to something. And the more you eat it, it can trigger into or turn into an allergy.
So I used to do a lot of testing through Viome. It's a company that does a stool test, and they tell you your superfoods, your avoid foods, your limit foods, and then just foods that have no effect. You can just, take it or leave it. And so I've done lots of testing with them, but I honestly didn't feel any different on any of their recommendations.
Well, it also depends on your body and the day. Like I can test for food happiness. So you can do this daily. You can do this, however often you want to check how happy your body will be. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy will your body be with this item, and check it from there to see, okay, if your body really wants it that day. Because maybe it loves it one day, and the second day it's like, I don't need it so much. Because we don't need to eat the same exact diet every single day. I mean, I don't have any routine. I'm just very, very non-routine.
That's better, actually. It's better because if you eat the same things over and over and over, then you can develop a sensitivity to it. So even kale, like you can get too much of the nitrates in a kale, so how can you teach the members how to check in with themselves to make sure a food is good for them or not?
Well, a common way is muscle testing. So with muscle testing, there are a lot of different versions of muscle testing. And when you're first starting out, you may find that one way to do it, muscle testing is better for you than another. So I'll go over some of the items or ways to muscle test. You can do what I started out with that worked for me was the standing or the sway test. So you can either stand or sit up. And the way you do it is first you calibrate. And by calibrating, I mean, I say, show me a yes. And your body may lean forward if you're standing or you're sitting up. So if you want to try this now, you can sit up or stand up and just say, show me a yes in your mind. You don't have to say it out loud. And see if your body goes forward or backward or side to side. Notice what you can do, what it does.
Okay, we're going to demo this. All right. So if you guys want to try it, everybody can try it. And if you're not muted, you might want to mute yourself, but I think everybody is. Okay, so I'm going to say to my body, show me a yes. And I kind of go forward.
Okay, so so forward is your yes. Now show me a no.
Show me a no. Wow. Okay, so I literally went backwards a little bit.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's the more common one. Yes is forward, no is backwards. Sometimes it could be left, it could be right. It just depends on your body. Yeah. That's why I say calibrate so that you know what the answer is for you. Okay. So that's one way to do muscle testing. That's the way that worked for me the most obviously. There are other ways to do muscle testing. Another way to do muscle testing is with your hand and fingers. So you can make a little what do you call it? Like a circle. And some people, if it's strong, yes, you can't flick your finger out as easily. If it's a no, your finger might flick out really easily.
Okay, so let's try that together. So everybody make a circle with your finger and you stick one finger in and you say, show me a yes.
Show me a yes.
So show me a yes.
And it's usually a lot more strong or harder to, flick it out.
Okay.
But if you say, show me a no, and you're using about the same force, okay?
Show me a no. Same.
So mine came apart as soon as I said no.
Yep. So it comes apart a little bit easier.
Show me a no.
So that's another way.
Show me yes. Okay. I get it.
And you use the one that works best for you. I mean, everybody's different. Okay. So another one with the fingers is just to like rub your index and thumb and show me a yes. And you maybe it's smoother. And then this one's a more fine-tuned one. Or you can say, show me a no.
Yeah.
And do you feel a difference? Is it thicker or stickier? That's another way.
See, that doesn't work for me because it doesn't work for me. Yeah, the other one does. This one does.
You know what's so interesting, Ellen, is Peggy had me get this sticky pad and it just came in the mail and I forgot what it was. I'm like, what is this? And you just made me remember. It's like this thing you rub and it does the same thing as the finger, but it's like, I haven't tried it yet. So I'll let y'all know how that goes. But she told me about that. Okay, so awesome. So I brought an egg. I brought a protein bar and I brought my shake mix. And so we're going to try that.
She has chickens, so she eats a lot of eggs.
I love eggs because I have 10 chickens.
I know.
And so how do I test to see if this egg is good for me?
Well, okay. You can, all right. So for the food happiness scale, I rate things from 1 to 10. So 10 being super happy, your body loves it. 1 being, it doesn't like it, don't eat it that day. Okay, so you can muscle test it. How happy is your body with that egg, that item? Okay. Instead of yes or no, these require numbers. And one way to do it is you can say, okay, how happy is my body with food? And a number might pop up for you, depending on your clairs. So if you're clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, claircognizant, that could say how you get your answer easier. So for me, I'm claircognizant, meaning I have clear knowing. Like things just come to me, I know. Some people are clairvoyant. They see pictures in their head. So maybe you see the number or see something. If you're clairaudient, you might hear the number or think the number. If you're clairsentient, you might feel that the number is this or something like that. So depending on what your clairs are and the ranking, because everybody has these clairs, it's just the order and the rank of them, of how strong
Ellen, does it matter?
Go ahead.
Does it matter if you say it out loud so that they understand, or can you just say it to yourself?
Either.
Like if you're alone and you're asking, and can you should you do it out loud? Because I was always told, do it out loud if you're alone, not in the middle of a grocery store. They'll call the guys in white coats.
I don't usually say them out loud. I just do it in my head. I'm a head person. Okay. So, I mean, I don't, if you want to say it out loud, I mean, that's fine. Whatever works for you. That's what I always say. Okay. Whatever works best for you. I'm not going to say this is the only way because it's not.
Right.
Come on, people. All right. So find the way that works best for you. And if it's saying it out loud, say it out loud. And if it's not, then don't. But for that, you can say, you can just, does something come? Is there a number that comes to mind? Is there?
Okay, Tracy, is there a number?
If I say a number, it's like 7.
That's what I got. Exactly what I got.
Whoa. So that means it's good.
Yes, that means your body is happy with it at this moment in time. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, but remember what Ellen emphasized, which I always emphasize. You eat something every single day, you will end up with a sensitivity, even if it's not an allergy.
Possibly.
So yeah.
Possibly.
I mean, it's happened in many cases. So I eat eggs 5 days a week and not for 2 days. Because if I eat them every day, my body talks back to me. So just pay attention to that.
Hey, maybe Tracy's body wants to eat it every day. So like I say, always listen to your body, your own body, no matter what anybody else says, yes, there are experts in many fields, but listen to yourself. This is the all important thing that I want to stress to everyone.
Well, it's also divine wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes,
yep.
exactly.
And body talk never lies. I actually helped a doctor write a book by that title years ago. Body talk never lies. And Alan is, emphasizing that. If you learn to listen to your body, it's not gonna guide you wrong. Your neighbor telling you to eat something may guide you wrong, right, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, if the neighbor is
it's
not allergic to organic strawberries, but you are,
exactly,
don't listen
but
to your
you are.
neighbor.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Body talk never lies. Remember that.
So that's one way to test, just seeing if you get a number or something like that. Normally, I do things from numbers, either 1 to 10, a scale of 1 to 10, or 1 to 100, depending on what we're testing. So if I'm testing chakras and meridians and body systems, they're different functions. So food happiness is a scale of 1 to 10. If I'm testing chakras, that would be whether it's strong or weak. If it's meridians, I test if it's blocked or clear. If it's body systems, I test on a scale of 100%, like how optimal is it? So you take the tools of muscle testing and you can figure out each of these sections and test whatever you want.
So can we practice with those three as well?
Okay, sure. So chakras, there are 7 chakras, and I had given Tracy a PDF of a worksheet that lists all of the chakras, all of the meridians, and all of the body systems that you can use. And if you want to do this as a homework assignment, you can check your own just to see what you are at. Okay. So for the chakras, there are 7 chakras.
Sorry, let me just tell them we will upload this so you guys can have a link to it. Okay. We will put it on the back office so you guys can have a link to this chart and print one up for yourselves.
Yeah, do you want to see it? I do have the PowerPoint version of it.
If you have it up, fine. I have it up too.
Okay, well, if you have it up, go ahead.
I think it'd be good to show.
Okay. So it's the one, the worksheet, right?
Sure.
This? Is it this one, Ellen?
Okay, so yes. Okay, so that's the worksheet. So here I've listed the 7 chakras, and their associated issues and the color. So you can test for yourself. Okay, let's test the root chakra. Is your root chakra strong or weak? Okay, so how I do it is I say, is my root chakra strong? Am I getting a yes or a no?
Okay, is my root chakra strong? I'm getting yes.
Cool. And then as a calibrating just to make sure, then I ask the opposite question. Is my root chakra weak?
Oh. Is my root chakra weak? No.
See?
No.
That way I know for sure. Okay. I'm asking both sides of it, and they should give you the same answer. If you're not getting a clear answer, one thing about muscle testing is sometimes if you're not hydrated, so drink some water, that can affect your results. So if you're hydrated, you'll find the answers easier. Sometimes, if you're stressed or whatever, you might not get clear answers. So find what works for you. All right. Then you can go through, each of the chakras and ask, is my one chakra strong? Is it weak? Is it strong? Is it weak? And the same thing with the meridians. Is it blocked? And then is it clear? So ask, is my lung meridian blocked?
Is my lung meridian blocked?
That's a great worksheet.
Okay, I'm saying yes.
Okay.
Did you get yes?
Lung? I'm not testing.
Okay. Is my lung meridian weak? Wait, clear.
Oh, clear. Yes.
No.
All right. So there you go. That one's blocked. So you need to clear that one.
How do I clear it?
We can go on to clearing things. Okay. So, and then that's how I test for things. You ask the opposite questions just to see that you get confirming answers. Now for the body systems, the way I do it is I ask, at what % of optimal is my cardiovascular system? Like at what % of optimal is my cardiovascular system?
At what % of optimal is my cardiovascular system? I got 88.
Oh. And so that I would go through each of the systems. And microbiome isn't technically a body system, but I always test for it because it is so important. And that does help because that's where your immune system and everything is as part of it. So yes, you can test for anything by using muscle testing or other tools.
I love it. I love the leaning. That is helpful. I've used a pendulum before. Is that the same?
Yeah, so there are other ones. Yes. So some people use pendulums. Pendulums didn't work for me because I always felt like I was moving it myself. So there's pendulum.
Me too, yeah.
The most common one that a lot of people think of for muscle testing is the arm test, where you hold out your arm and somebody else pushes it down to see how strong or weak it is. But that takes another person to help you do that. The ones that I do are by yourself. And what I used to do is the standing sway one, forward and back. But then after I did it for a while, I got better and better at it. It changed. It went into my head would jerk. My head would jerk one way or the other way for yes or no. After a while, that shifted and changed to now I just close my eyes and get yes or no. So there's a lot of different ways, and the way you start out may not be the way you end up eventually.
So practice will elevate your experience. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Cool. So once you identify a blockage or a less than ideal percent of optimal, what do you do to clear it?
Well, I use my own clearing method. So I pretty much just clear it away. And it's pretty quick and instant. So, but I'll run you through a chakra balancing exercise. So you can close this out if you want.
Okay. Let's go here.
All right. So one way to do a chakra balancing is, all right, so this is all visualization. Unless you want to do it physically. I mean, you can do that too. But pretend you have a colored ball, like a red ball in your hand, okay? And you can bounce it at your root chakra, which is at the bottom of your tailbone area, okay? So down there, just pretend you're bouncing a ball onto that, a red ball onto that area, okay? You just bounce it against your body. And then you can bounce the ball up a little bit to your sacral chakra, which is orange. Your red ball turned to orange. Okay, now you're bouncing the orange ball around your belly area, sacrum. All right, and now let's go to the third, which turns the orange ball into yellow. The yellow ball. The yellow ball is for the power chakra. The power chakra, this is where you're strong and strength in yourself. You know what's going on and you have power in yourself. Now let's go to the fourth chakra, which is green. You're bouncing a green ball. And you can do this with your hand. I'm doing it right now. You're bouncing the green ball on your hand, on your heart area. Green, it's clearing it all out. And now let's go to the fifth chakra, which is around your throat area. That's indigo. It's the indigo color, clearing out your throat. Maybe you want to clear your throat right now. Does your throat feel like it's getting clear? All right. and let's go to, oh wait, that's not indigo, that's blue.
Turquoise.
It's blue. It's blue. Okay. Roy G. Biv is the thing. All right, so it's blue. All right, so let's go to, this is indigo. The third eye. Third eye is indigo. Yep, and bounce the ball right there on your third eye. Okay, and then you have the violet ball on top of your head. Okay, you're bouncing that. And then you can go back down. Okay, so violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Oh, how does that feel?
Ooh, groovy.
Like chakras are back balanced. It's a long version. So there are a lot of different exercises. You can visualize, maybe if you don't want to bounce a ball, you can visualize just the color of red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, and violet all over your body. Like a laser. Just clearing it out. Things like that.
You know, they actually have, so I'm a Reiki master, and my Reiki master teacher has this computer program that analyzes your energy. I think you put your hands on this, and it can show you your chakras, the size of them, and if they're off, you know, or out. And she also has an aura one, so you can look for the balanced aura. And I thought it would be so cool to, you know, pre and post QARC, have these tools for the members to be able to see how it doesn't just help them physically, but it helps them with the energy, you know, the energetic values as well.
Wow.
Exactly.
That would
we've
be
talked
great.
about having an aura photo for pre-arc. So that would be cool. They're just fun. And if you go to like any metaphysical fairs and workshops, they have some of those a lot of times. It's just fun stuff.
Yeah, I've had it done several times. Have any of you members had it done?
Yep, some
had a photograph where they actually give you the printout and you can show your aura.
Yeah,
so it's just fun stuff. And some people can actually see it. You know, maybe some on this call right now, you can maybe see auras. And so, like when I was learning, instead of colors, I could see the energy field around the person. Like it was almost like when you're standing against like a white background, you could see, you know, like when your car is hot outside and you see like the heat rising from the hood. I saw it kind of like that. So there are a lot of different ways that you can experience things. So some people see the colors, some people don't see colors, but so just tune into yourself to see what you're strongest in.
And practice
do you
makes
see
perfect.
do you see heat? Because when I had my 2 clinics, I could tell the minute a patient walked in if they were going to be compliant, if they were serious, or if they just wanted a quick fix. And quick fixes I didn't take. So I could feel the heat. It wasn't an aura. I kept trying to find their auras, but I wasn't good at that. But boy, I'll tell you, I could feel the heat.
You're clairsentient.
Probably.
Maybe that's your strong. So okay, see what your strongest clair is. So Dr. Gloria, you can ask, is clairsentience my strongest clair?
Yes,
and all
without
of
a doubt.
See, there you go.
I've never tested for that. Yeah, so
exactly.
See, I couldn't figure out why everybody kept saying do all this, and the workers the heaters that I worked with, but it didn't work for me. But boy, the heat did. The heater cold. If they were cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's like number 4. That's number 4 for me. I'm not a feeler. If you you can't tell.
Oh, see, I am. Feel. So that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's claircognizance, which is clear knowing. Have you ever just had a download of info? That's claircognizance. Clairvoyance is maybe you see pictures in your head. You could just get flashes of intellect, flashes of something. Okay, that's clairvoyance. Clairaudience is hearing. Maybe you hear a voice, or maybe the voice is your actual own thought. Okay, sometimes that might be a little trickier to discern, but that's hearing, clairaudience. Clairsentience is the feeling. Some clairsentience are also where you touch the item and I just dropped the word, but
that's me.
You can
that's me.
Telemetry, psychometry, or something like that, where you can feel things and get things from objects. You're more clairsentient if you're feeling. There's not so common are clairgustance, clear smelling, clear tasting, and clairolescence.
Wow.
Clear smelling.
That's a lot.
Wow, I didn't know there was that many.
There are 6, different clairs, and you can check for yourself your rank.
Wow.
So I know my claircognizance is number 1. Then I'm audient, then voyant, then sentient, and then tasting and smelling, or no, usually those are like whatever, it's by then.
Ellen, let me ask you something. Have you ever touched an item after somebody that has very negative energy, and you just can't even stand to touch it. I've actually threw pens away when patients would fill out their new patient form because the energy was so negative I couldn't handle it. My secretary used to say, "What is wrong with you?" I just say,
Because
"It's
you're
brand new. I don't care.
clairsentient.
Throw it away."
Because
Okay,
you're
now it makes
clairsentient.
sense, but nobody explained that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't, because clairsentience is number 4 for me, so it's not my strongest.
Yeah.
I might know not to pick it up, but I might not feel it. Like some people, when you go into a room, do you feel the room? Some people do.
Yes.
Some people know, oh,
I
somebody was fighting in this room. So that's clairsentience. So everybody has all of them. It's just in different degrees.
Awesome. So, Ellen, are you able to take some questions from the members?
Sure.
If you guys have a question, can you raise your hand, please? I'm sure somebody has a question for Ellen. That is just like a whirlwind of info. And I guess you can guess what your homework is. Everybody's going to print up the worksheet and fill it all out, practice all of these in addition to what's your strongest clair. Okay, Cheryl, go ahead.
And you're muted, Cheryl.
Yeah, everybody's muted. So when we call on you, please unmute and then you can talk.
This is kind of a question about the meridians and tying with the QT wave devices. I have 2, and I've been using them at night, one on the bottom of each foot. And I guess what I'm wanting to find out, I'm really feeling it immediately in terms of the subtle energetics that are going up each leg, and wondering if that's something that expands as the meridians kind of get opened, or if you have any thoughts on that.
What does it feel like for you? Does it work for you?
It seems like it.
You mentioned expanding, which reminded me, another way to figure things out is feel whether that thing or item or idea, thought expands you or contracts you. That's another good way to say yes or no. So say, okay, moving to a farm in some foreign country, does that feel expansive? Or does that feel like contracting? Like, if it feels and contracting, then it's a no for you. But somebody else might love it and feel expanded. So if it feels expansive and open, that's a yes for you. If it feels contracting, like, yeah, then that's a no. And if you're not sure, sometimes that means a no too.
That's great feedback. Because I think it can also tie in if you have fears about something, that's gonna, influence that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. How about Steph?
Hey, how are you?
Hello, beautiful.
This is one thing that's really strange. For some reason, I know what I'm doing before I do it. Like, even here with us, I've seen everybody before. And I don't know I just know that I know.
That's probably a past life, and maybe claircognizance is your strongest.
Huh.
Check. Is claircognizance your strongest clair?
Test it.
Yeah. I mean, I it's been going on.
When you just know things, that's claircognizance.
And I can see energy. I can see energy around people, and I can tell who needs to get away from me. I can see it immediately.
Me too. Get away.
Gotta go. So, yeah.
Yep. Trust yourself. That's what I want you to get from my session. Trust yourself. Trust in what you think, what you get, because you're always with you. We will not always be with you. Okay.
Yeah, it will be. All right, thanks.
That's why I have this picture. It's Glenda the Good Witch. Here, let me shine this up so you can see it. And it says, "You always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn it yourself, for yourself."
Yep.
So that's in alignment with what Ellen's saying. Okay, Trudy, go ahead.
I've learned some things about peace and calm. basically. So like I use it that way in words, just like with a Japanese scientist that spoke to the water and the water changed either to negative or positive. It's the same thing with your body. So lots of times I put like a positive word on me, and I just wait and I just get a sense that yes, this is really good, and I get more visual about that word, maybe. And so I've used that before, and I haven't had as much knowing. Lots of times I do get a visual thing. I
like
do get like I hear, I hear things sometimes, and I just go with it because lots of times your gut reaction is usually what tells me, if it feels okay, it's calm, I'm not nervous about it, do it, so it really is interesting how those all work in it. But I didn't really know when you said the yes to the body. Nothing happened. I don't even think I moved,
Well,
so I don't know if that's just a blockage or.
It could be. Maybe if you try it again after drinking some water, that might help. And maybe that exercise just won't work for you. Like the pendulum didn't work for me because I thought I was doing it myself. So find the way. And if you Google like muscle test on like YouTube, you'll probably find a bunch of different exercises for muscle testing. I just gave you a few.
Okay.
Oh, and
wow,
you reminded me about food and water.
It's really interesting.
Absolutely. Yes. So
you really need the water. Well, you need the water for the frequency to move, right? Right. So.
Yep. Yep. So one thing about food and water, like when you're eating something, stop being guilty about eating something. Okay, say ice cream. All right, let's have ice cream. So if you're an ice cream person and you want to eat some ice cream, don't eat it and say, "Oh, I so shouldn't be eating this ice cream. It's gonna be terrible for me." Yes, it will if you do it like that. Okay. No, what you need to do is, ice cream. Oh, it's so delicious and yummy. Oh, it's feeding my body and it's making my energy. Oh, so great. Ice cream is the best. That will be so much better for you than any organic beef or meat or vegetable you can eat if you do it like that. Because you're enjoying it, you're being grateful for it, and it's energizing your body. So that's another tip for you to help make all your food good.
Yeah, and it's also about your belief system, right? Because everything's energy.
Yes.
So if all of your food is your energy in your body, then your belief system's going to determine how you're loving yourself and passing on that good vibration or that low vibration. Awesome.
Exactly. Don't feel guilty about eating something. And yes, there are more healthy things and stuff like that. But if you're constantly thinking, "Oh, I so should be eating healthy" and stuff like that, you're just wrecking yourself. I'm sorry. Okay. You can eat the regular stuff and make it good for you by increasing your energy around it. Okay. Don't be guilty about everything.
Yeah. And if you are loving yourself and thinking about everything is showing you self-love in one way or another, I love how you said, instead of beating yourself up with guilt. Michelle, we're going to come back for more questions in just 1 second. I just need to have Dr. Gloria finish up with the recipe for those that need to go. So, Ellen, I don't know if you have time to stick around just a little bit longer.
Just a few more minutes. I have a meeting.
Okay. So, Dr. Gloria, do you want to cover the immune boosting soup ingredients?
Does everybody have their, do they have their pencil and paper handy or your note tablet? I'm going to go fast over the basic ingredients. The onions, the garlic, that's always my basic. Any kind of healthy oil.
Okay, wait, she's going to go. Ellen has to go. So let me thank her. You guys, thank you, Ellen. We love you so much and we honor you. And we'll report back to you next week on how everyone's homework goes, okay?
Cool. All right. Okay. I hope everyone.
And you taught me, a lot. Thank you.
Everyone will do great.
Thank you, sweetie. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a
Thank
great
you,
day.
honey.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye-bye. Okay,
Okay.
so my basics, it's always onions and garlic. So I'm not going to go in detail. The oils are really important. And I'm going to do a show later on with Tracy about the oils that are healthy and the ones that kill you, literally. If you're going to buy the Wesson oil at Walmart and cook with that because it's cheap, you're going to end up with clogged arteries and high blood pressure and everything else, and a lot of inflammation. So I always say use coconut oil, avocado oil, or a oil that is a high, if you're going to fry, use something that has a high heat index, but I have a whole handout for that, so you don't have to worry about that. We'll get that to you later. Annatto powder is something that I want to talk about because most of you have never heard of it, and it's in a lot of my recipes to replace tomatoes. So it's a bright orange. It stains everything. I've mentioned that before. Don't get a nice, pretty white apron, or like Steph with her nice white t-shirt. Don't use that when you're cooking, Steph, because the annatto will stain it. It is a delicious powder that you can find in Mexican markets if you have an area that has Mexican markets. Like I'm in Texas, I would think I was in Mexico because everybody has the spice rack for Mexican spices. In Mexican markets, it's called achiote, Achiote, but it's annatto. And you'll see it in a lot of health foods that says natural food coloring, and then annatto is in parentheses. It's got a very unique flavor. It's a pod, and you will see that in the recipe. I actually put a picture of the pod so you know what it is, and it's not a nightshade, so it doesn't induce inflammation. Turmeric, one of you said that you didn't use turmeric. It's one of the best ingredients you can possibly use for inflammation and pain. Now, if you are allergic to any of this, remember, just obviously avoid it. I put in shiitake mushrooms, either dried or fresh. I buy the dried because sometimes the fresh look pretty ugly. And all the medicinal value of it is in the recipe so that you'll know. That's why it's so long, and Peggy had a challenge getting it in, and they had to put a link. Good chicken broth. Don't buy the junk that is loaded with MSG and everything else. Buy a pure chicken stock or make it yourself. You're going to need a big bunch of kale or spinach. I do better with spinach. My body doesn't like a lot of kale, so you pick that. Butternut squash. The reason I put this out this time of year is I can go to my local grocery store in Texas and buy the packages in the produce department of cut, peeled butternut squash this time of year. They don't have it after the winter because of the holidays. Everybody's got butternut squash. So you don't have to buy the squash and cut it. I actually bought a little hacksaw when I was in Idaho to cut it because I never had the power to cut through the heavy shell. And they laughed at me at Ace Hardware, but I think everybody I knew after that had a hacksaw. So if you want to go through all that, go ahead. If not, I buy it in the package. It's already peeled. And then buy a bunch of it because you're going to love it. There's going to be a lot of recipes I'm going to use over the winter. And if you buy those small packages, it's enough for one recipe. And freeze it, but double wrap it so it doesn't get freezer burned. It'll last you all winter. Then fresh ginger. Do not use ground ginger or dry ginger for this. You're making it to boost your immunity. So use everything fresh. Limes or lemons. I prefer limes, but either one is fine. A lot of fresh cilantro, so get a couple of big bunches. You need some kind of amino acids. I use Bragg's, but you can also use coconut aminos. I don't particularly like the flavor of coconut aminos. I don't know why, I just don't. But either one is fine. And then you can use a green powder that you can get at all the health food stores or online, or you can buy all of these ingredients separately, which I refuse to do. It's called Vita Mineral Greens. A lot of you might have seen it. It's a big brown glass jar. It has everything: moringa, wheatgrass, every kind of super green you can imagine. If you do that, you're only going to need 2 tablespoons. But if you had to buy kelp and dulse and all the other sea vegetables and wheatgrass, it's a lot of work, a lot of money, and they go bad. So you're better off buying a green. There it is. Somebody's got it. Karen, thank you. Show it again up close. That stuff's amazing. Put it a little closer. There you go. Vita Mineral Greens. Thank you. You're on the right path. I've used it 20 years. It's amazing stuff. I put it in my smoothies. And you don't have to use all of the sea vegetables then that you have to go try to find. get some astragalus root. Most of you know what that is. It's an herb that has been used for centuries to boost your immune system. And in China, they use it many times when I was teaching at the main hospital as like an antibiotic. When somebody started with tonsillitis or an ear infection, they gave them astragalus. And you can buy just the capsules, open it up, open several up, and put them in the soup. Or you can buy the fine chopped ones already, but those are hard to find. So just get the capsules. Or you can buy it in bulk, but again, don't buy too much because it will get old. Some fresh rosemary and some fresh thyme. That's it. And then you will have all of the interpretation of the health benefits for every single ingredient and why it's important to boost your immune system at this time of year. And then I want reports like all of you have given me. So thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Tomorrow.
You'll get the recipe in the newsletter tomorrow, and it's 14 pages of detailed information on everything why she chose that ingredient for this season of, cold and flu and all that. So, 2 more announcements.
Yeah, one of the magazines I used to write for always published it every year. So they gave me as many pages as I needed. So I tried to edit it, and I said to Tracy, how am I going to it comes down? They don't understand why I put it in there. So bless the team. They found a way to put a link in it. You can get the whole article. You can print it and save it.
Yeah, Peggy's awesome.
Go ahead, Tracy.
So thank you, Dr. Gloria. I love it. And she'll be back next week as the main presenter to talk about oral health. So I want to have 2 quick announcements. One is we are, in order to encourage our members to come to more of our calls, the Key, Vibe Tribe, International Call, and WoW, we are going to start gathering testimonial videos to show how these are actually helping you make your life better. So, of course, everyone has a black or a white device, or hopefully you will get one soon. And that is, like I said earlier, the foundation. But we provide so many amazing benefits. And I interviewed Jorgen today from Denmark, because he has just received his device on Monday, but he has been with the International Twine Call for all these months, and he has felt so much better just from that. So if you guys want to have an interview testimonial with me to talk about any of our different Zoom meetings that we provide to the members and say how it's helped you guys improve your life just from that as well, then please schedule with me. I will give you guys a link when I share the, what is it called? The replay with this in the text on both of the newsletter as well as in the chatty chat. And lastly, we covered this yesterday in our volunteer meeting, which I thought was the best volunteer meeting I've ever seen, is all of you have gifts, right? Everybody has a gift, and some of the members might benefit from your gift in a beautiful way. And so I'm just going to invite those of you who have these gifts that you want to do a training to help the members to contact me, and then we can have you be featured in one of our shows here on WoW. So with that said, I just want to see, does anybody have questions for Dr. Gloria or myself? I can hang out for a few more minutes and we can take care of you.
Me too. I have a comment, Tracy. Somebody may think that being a good gardener isn't a talent, isn't something that they have to share. I had an organic farm in Idaho for many years. That is really valuable. You all know how important it's going to be to control our food. If it's on your balcony, if you're in an apartment or a big piece of property, it doesn't matter. Share that with us. If you found tricks that help something grow better, or a natural fertilizer that you use, or how you compost, that's important. Don't think that it has to be a PhD in something. We all need to share. We're a family. And I want to hear that. I want to know what it is you're doing to improve the food that you're eating, the quality of food, not just buying it organic at the store. So that would be valuable, Tracy, for somebody to share some of their gardening tips.
I actually think I got an email.
Fertilizers, for instance.
I got an email from somebody that I have to answer. I haven't answered emails yet today, but they actually have that. I think she was on the call, Jana, maybe. So yeah, it's important.
Yeah, I think she was.
Michelle, did you have a question for Dr. Gloria?
Two quick points. Great show today. Thank you, ladies. Ellen left, but I wanted to say two tips. One on Dr. Gloria's point, culture gardening. I have been doing it in my yard, and I've been gardening for 3 years, or this is going on 4. And this last 6 months, my harvest is 3 times, 4 times the size, guys. So it's so easy.
Oh, I want to hear that. Yes. Yes.
I would love to share that. I've done several videos showing people mine. Second point, I just wanted to share, this is what I do with my food and drinks, guys, because we're so powerful. I say to my food, whatever it is, please go back to your organic God-given state at this time. I thank you, and I transmute you back to love energy. I do that as kind of like a little thing over all my food and drinks, and I know it is purified like that, okay? Because that's how powerful we are. So I just wanted to share that with y'all.
That's great.
That's beautiful,
Thank you.
Michelle.
That's great.
Thank you. She's so beautiful. I've known
Get together
her for
with
quite
Tracy.
a while.
I want to hear how you do your gardening, because that's how I'm going to do mine as soon as I get my farm.
And
I
haven't done that before. I've read about it.
Fertilizer, no pesticides, nothing, guys.
Right.
And it keeps it's all natural. You're grabbing the ether, you're grabbing God's love. That's what you're doing. So
yeah, I've done a lot of research on it for when I get my farm, but I haven't done it. So you need to educate us.
Got to do it. I would love to do that. Love to do that. Thank you, Tracy. Love you.
Yeah,
love
you,
Michelle.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Michelle, we'll get together because I actually have electroculture in my house plants as well. This one doesn't need one, but I have like little skewers that you would use for a barbecue, and I wrapped it with copper wire.
Yep.
I'm honestly not seeing a difference inside, but outside in my garden, holy cow. I have an amazing garden. So,
and you can add little crystals on top of it. If you wrap it, you can wrap it with your favorite stone, your favorite, whatever it is, and it will intensify whatever you're doing. So it's all intentions. It's all in our thoughts, and it's all out of your heart.
that's a great idea. I have a bag of crystals that I bought, so I'll have to add that to it, especially for the inside.
Tracy, let me add something else. Right now that I'm in an apartment that I hopefully, God willing, won't be in too much longer. I can't grow anything inside. I had all my herbs and they die. I buy new ones and they die. And one of my patients said, "Where is the Wi-Fi in your apartment?" And it's in the ceiling right above where I have to put the plants. So just keep that in mind if you're having trouble growing indoor plants, but you have, I had mine right by the sliding door into the little balcony, and everything died. I did everything else right. I know how to grow, had a garden, had an organic farm for many years, but the Wi-Fi's right in the ceiling and I can't turn it off. So understand that could be an issue. So keep your plants away from the Wi-Fi, from wherever the main terminal is. Okay.
Real quick, Tracy, Dr. Gloria, can't believe you brought that up. There is a video, a teacher did a study with his students that showed that exact point, that Wi-Fi kills our plants in our house, and how they covered up where the Wi-Fi couldn't get to the plant and the Wi-Fi got to it and the plants couldn't grow. So that was awesome that you brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Thank
saw
you.
that.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it. I have a green thumb, and I kept thinking, why am I buying these herbs and they're all dying? And that's why. So I don't buy anymore. I just buy the little packets of the fresh herbs. So Tracy, this was
They
great.
actually have these really cool things called growing towers. My friend is with this company and they sell them. I want to get one, but my husband's like, why? We don't need that. But it's a way for you to grow plants, and you don't need soil.
Yes.
They just grow in the water, and then they have lights if you need it. So like if you live in a dark environment, you can use that. So, but that's something we can talk about.
I've used them and they work. They work, but not when there's Wi-Fi. As Michelle's point, when it's a Wi-Fi, it doesn't matter where it is. The Wi-Fi's killing it. That electromagnetic field is literally just sucking all the energy and frequency out of the plant. Can you imagine what it's doing to us?
Crazy.
The same thing.
That's why we have our device to protect us from it, because we can do that. All right, you guys, listen, it's already 12:15. I just want to honor and thank each and every one of you please close with me by putting your hands together in this prayer position and bringing it to your forehead. May you think only joyful thoughts to your lips. May you speak only kind words and to your heart space. May you show love to yourself and to all those around you. Peace, peace, peace. May the light in me go out and support and love the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming. Love to each and every one of you, and we'll see you next week. Mwah. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Love everybody. Mwah.
Love everybody.